Statute 600 5.0403. 1. A promise by a person to contribute to the limited liability company is not enforceable unless it is set out in a writing signed by the person. 2. A person's obligation to make a contribution to a limited liability company is not excused by the person's death, disability, or other inability to perform personally. 3. If a person does not fulfill an obligation to make a contribution other than money, the person is obligated at the option of the limited liability company to contribute money equal to the value of the part of the contribution that has not been made. The foregoing option is in addition to and not in lieu of other rights, including the right to specific performance, that the limited liability company may have against the person under the Articles of Organization or Operating Agreement or applicable law. 4. The obligation of a person to make a contribution may be compromised only by consent of all members. If a creditor of a limited liability company extends credit or otherwise acts in reliance on an obligation described in subsection 1 without notice of a compromise under this subsection, the creditor may enforce the obligation. 5. An operating agreement may provide that the limited liability company interest of a member who fails to make a contribution that the member is obligated to make is subject to specified penalties for or specified consequences of the failure. The penalty or consequence may take the form of reducing or eliminating the defaulting member's proportionate interest in a limited liability company, subordinating the defaulting member's limited liability company interest to that of non-defaulting members, a forced sale of that limited liability company interest, forfeiture of the defaulting member's limited liability company interest, the lending by other members of the amount necessary to meet the defaulting member's commitment, a fixing of the value of the defaulting member's limited liability company interest by appraisal or by formula, and redemption or sale of the defaulting member's limited liability company interest at such value or other penalty or consequence. We offer real estate, estate planning, probate, and business law. Call 321-206-3603 or visit easlerlaw.com to book a consultation. Offices in Melbourne, Florida. Virtual consultations worldwide.